This is Bucks County Community College, Poly 111 E59, American National Government, and it's March 22nd, 2011. I'd like to welcome everybody back from spring break, and I hope it was just that for most of you. I hope, like myself, you were able to get away and go somewhere different perhaps, or do some different things and decompress a little bit from all your semester work. I'd like to discuss a little bit about Chapter 10 and the paper that you have due this week. And at the end of the video, I have some important information about that paper, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. The three major roles of the media are common carrier, signaler, and watchdog. Now, Chapter 10 talks a lot about the history of the media, which is really interesting, especially for those of you who are followers of American history and have studied it. I'm sure that a lot of it sounded very familiar with you, and I'm not going to go into the history in this video as much as I am the situation at the current time. I think we're, personally, my viewpoint is in a period of time where the media may be more of a problem than a benefit. Chris Strasser, I think it was, in one of the question time questions, was wondering if we're ever going to have an Edward R. Murrow again. And he wanted to know if the media was just trying to manipulate us. In so many words, I think I'm stating what he did pretty accurately. I think the media plays a good role as a signaler. I mean, you know about the tsunami and the earthquake in Libya, you know about the passage or the discussion of the health care bill and so forth. I think as a signaler, the media often does a very good job and lets us know what's going on right away. The only problem I see with it is that sometimes they set the agenda on what they think will be the most sensational rather than what might, in the long run, be what we need to be focused on. The major outlets, print, web, television, radio, when the editors decide what to cover, that's what the population will often think about. So they set the agenda, and if it's not signaled, and if it's not out there, much of the population doesn't even know what's going on, and the decisions in that case can be made by vested interests. Those factions that Madison talked about can have a better field day if the media is not setting the agenda on that particular item. I'm concerned about the fact that a lot of the media just is what we call an infomercial. I mean, you'd look at a typical half-hour program on TV news, like Action News. 20 minutes of it is news at best, and of that, very little of it's about politics or government. If the average soundbite from a politician on the evening news is 10 seconds. A few decades ago, it was 40 seconds, and it's just kind of going down. And we spend our time hearing people interpret it and put their own spin and their own slant on things. As Chris Strasser and other people noticed, MSNBC seems to lean towards the left. Fox News leans towards the right. And we could spend a lot of time discussing whether or not that is polarizing our country into extremes. Sensationalism, strong emotions sell. People want to watch more if they get really excited about something. So let's not, I think they're not always objective. They're not always giving it a complete story so that people will raise their ratings. Also, the watchdog role seems to bring good and bad. The watchdog role with Watergate was good because we found out about the misdeeds of the Nixon administration. But the watchdog role also feeds into the feeling of negativity that people have towards all elected and bureaucratic officials and so forth. And I would argue that there are a heck of an awful lot of people in government that are totally above board, but that doesn't always make the news. So I think the negativity creates a momentum to create term limits to vote out any incumbents, and I think we saw that in the last election. And tying that into a comment by Caitlin Monahan earlier on in one of the question time questions, she was talking about Martin Luther King and Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the relationship of those folks to the right for collective bargaining and what's been going on in Wisconsin, where the government has taken a move to eliminate collective bargaining for public officials, and that's kind of spreading to other states as well. Also for state employees, such as teachers and so forth. If you take a look at what happened there, it could well be that the extreme negativity that's out there in the media, I would argue that created the idea of let's vote everybody out. That put the Republicans in place of the Democrats, and then the Republicans may have misinterpreted that or simply taken advantage of that to say, well, they really want us to get rid of collective bargaining. That's kind of an extreme move compared to what was there before. And certainly the Republicans have the votes to do so. It was asked if the Democrats in Wisconsin subverted democracy by running to Illinois so that a vote could not be held. I think it's a pretty strong argument that yes, they were subverting democracy. That if the people did overreact due to the negativity of the media or for whatever reason, the theory of democracy is that you wait till the next election and change things around to go back the other way. I think to leave and not come back is subverting democracy. Hence, the legislature has the right to subpoena people and have them arrested and brought back to the legislature. That's why that rule is there. That's why you and I would have to go if we were subpoenaed, because it's felt that you need to have people playing a role in the democracy. I think you have to follow by the rules, and you shouldn't change the rules in midfield. So you might go bouncing back and forth for a while, but it's supposed to be done by the ballot box. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is monitoring and adjusting all of this and controls some of the content of the media. And shortly I'll have another video and I'll talk about that and the role of the FCC and the political fairness doctrine. I'm afraid that I don't have time right now in the parameters of this video to do that, but I will very shortly. As a benefit for listening to my introduction here to Chapter 10, I'd like to say that I would give you the opportunity to turn in the media paper no later than Saturday rather than on Wednesday. And part of the reason for that is I really want you to get into gear and understand the chapter before you write the paper. And as I'm getting kind of a gut feeling that I will have a higher quality if I wait till Saturday in just this one case. Also, it's kind of a reward for your taking the time to watch this video. So keep the questions coming. I'll try to address more of them with more frequent videos as we go forward. For now, that's it, and go well, and good luck writing your paper, and you may send me any questions you have about this assignment.